That was an extraordinarily violent ring. Good afternoon, and thanks to everyone for showing up. Welcome to the best Rotary Club in the universe. All right, we're going to start the meeting with an invocation by the one, the only Lynn Tucker.
All right, let's remember that the Golden Rule is a true guidepost for our lives. If universally held, there will be no wars, no hunger, no crimes. Let us continue to help those less fortunate and strive for peace and goodwill. Let's hope everybody stays safe in the somewhat inclement weather. Amen.
All right, join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, and please join me in the four-way test. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? And today's song is with David Bricka.
Yes, indeed. Let's sing America, My Country 'Tis of Thee. My country 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the Pilgrim's bride, from every mountainside, let freedom ring.
All right, you can have a seat, everyone. All right, I don't see that we have any visiting Rotarians. Am I missing anyone? I see some folks that haven't got to join us in a while, so thank you very much for coming today. That's awesome. And I don't see any visitors, which is great. So let's move on to, oh, wait, is there a visitor?
No, you just said it's great. They thought it was funny, Ruth.
Oh.
Take a bow.
I'm so happy no one else is here today, so it's not awkward, okay? Hey, we're gonna discuss our auction. Get out. Don't be in here. Okay, club business, this is kind of the same thing that we talked about last week. Installation dinner, just make sure you're marking your calendar for July 1. It's a Tuesday night, so it's a little random, but we're working around the Rotary International Conference that quite a few of us are going up to Calgary and attending, including Lynn and myself, so you can't really hold installation without us, so sorry. Let's see, we have the salmon barbecue date set for September 11th, and Carl, where's Carl? Carl, did you have a chance to look at your calendar? Is September 4th gonna work for the golf?
Perfect segue.
Hey.
I really liked doing the golf before the salmon barbecue. So unless there's any objection, we want to do it the first Thursday after Memorial Day, which is, I think, the 5th. Okay?
Labor Day?
Yeah, you know what I meant. All right. So
Okay.
September 5th, I believe, is the date.
All right, great. Thank you. And thank you very much for organizing
September
that.
4th. I got it from official Eric. September 4th.
All right, so September
You'll be
4th
fine for that.
is the golf fun tournament. And let's see. And then I think we're still waiting on dates from Ellen for the Christmas party. And that's it. All right, does anyone else have any random announcements? Chris Rothenbuehler.
Just looking for sponsors for the concert series this year. I've got a couple already. Thank you guys, the museum and Steve and Carl. And yeah, we got Double Barrel Barbecue, a couple other places in town too. So if you're interested, get a hold of me. We're going to do $500 for a standard sponsorship. $1,000 gets you the same as a standard, but also opportunity to set up a booth and vote on the bands. The bands are only going to be booked by our $1,000 sponsors this year. So they get to vote on who gets to play for us. The theme this year, I'm working with a couple of people, Louie and a couple others. We'd like to support our local veterans this summer through the concert series and highlight some of our past, present folks in Rotary and just in this community of Sedro Woolley too. So I'd love your suggestions. We can kind of do a highlight on our Facebook page and social media on somebody different each time. So anything that we make from the raffle, which all items are donated from, we'll go to an organization and I'll get some help on who that would be. So please, if you're interested, I have to have my sponsors set before I do a call for bands. So reach out. Thanks.
Awesome.
One more thing. I was thinking it would be kind of cool if one of those 4 weeks, instead of having the beer garden, we have a 50-50 district-wide Rotary barbecue. If anybody is interested, maybe helping me put that together. And we just have that covered picnic area, just be nothing but Rotary, and we just show our presence. So.
That would be awesome. And whoever's on Zoom, and you're not on mute, so you might want to mute yourselves. All right. Tim Helland.
The third grade dictionaries will probably arrive next week. It's possible they'd arrive the week after. So as soon as I get a confirmation when those will arrive, then we'll start working on setting up a schedule for getting them distributed. So that will happen sometime this month anyway. So I'll let you know as soon as we get more information on that.
Chuck, we're not having lunch today, sorry.
I kind of got that when I came in and saw the card.
But
Can you tell who that was? Because let's find them. Oh, Ellen Schweiger. Hey, remember, that was Mike's wife for Fine Time.
Okay, we'll do that. Yeah, we'll make sure.
All right, let's move on to the raffle with Eric and Tim today. Thank you very much for doing a little last minute stand-in. Very much appreciated.
All right, let's do a raffle. First number is number 51, 51. 51.
51.
John. Spin the wheel. $25 cash. Donate it back. Thank you, John. Second number is number 71. 71. Told you it was a good year.
Sandra, you need to come every single week because you're amazing.
North Cascade Quick Lube. We'll get to you here shortly. And then, final number? Final number is 53, 53. Chris. Thank you. Going with a safe choice, going with wine. All right, thank you. Over to you, Daryl.
All right, now let's do some fining and some happying.
Some fining and some happy dollars. Okay, we'll start off with the raffle winners. We won't charge Schmitter because he already donated his 25, but 2 to Nilsson and to Chris, $2 a piece for winning that raffle. You have to pay that too, along with the 5 that you already put in. So today we're going to do a couple things. One, anybody know of any news that took place in the last week or month that you'd like to find somebody in the room for? Raise your hand if you have anything. Nothing special. Carl?
Well, I'll find myself because I'm super happy that the guy named Garrison that was in the news this morning for stealing something wasn't related to me.
Well, there you go. That's how it works. Anybody else? Well, we have a special announcement on Facebook this week. Didn't we have some kind of award given or some kind of donation given to the school district? What was that? A couple $1 million? from Bingham. You didn't give it?
Yeah,
Okay,
it was,
so
it was a
everybody
great
that
donation.
currently works for the school district, stand up. Yeah, I'm going to get there. I'm going to get there. Any former employees of the school district, stand up if you ever worked for the district. How about former board members of the district? And foundation, any members of the foundation, current or former? All right, are you guys all happy that you guys got this $2 million and we're going to give, how many, $5,000 scholarships out each year? $2 for that. Congratulations. Let's see, Mike Schweigert, another $2 because your wife didn't mute herself. You'd make sure you talk to her about that when you get home tonight, will you? Okay. Carl fined himself. I was going to fine him again for having the wrong date, but Eric, you can pay $2 for the recognition of getting the right day on the golf tournament. Let's have everybody stand up now. We're going to do the quarter toss. I've got a couple quarters. We're going to do the heads and tails. Everybody throw in $2 on the table. Winner gets half of that. Bill will come around and collect it. Remember how this works is you have to guess whether or not the two coins are going to be either both heads, you put your hands on your head, both tails, you put your hands on your butt, or one on the top and one on the bottom. All right, so go ahead now and guess what it's going to be before I flip them. Everybody ready? Jim, there you go. Everybody? You got to. All right, here we go. We're flipping them right now. We've got a heads and a tails. If you didn't say heads and tails, sit down. Oh, we have a whole bunch of people that did heads and tails. All right, let's go for the second round. Which one's it going to be? Two heads, two tails, or heads and a tail? You ready? Everybody's got what they're going to do? All right, we got a heads and a tails. Again, heads and tails. If you did heads and tails, stay standing. If you didn't, sit down. All right, here we go for the third round. Make your selection. All right. This one is a heads. Heads and heads. If you said heads and heads, stay standing. Otherwise, sit down. Who do we have? We have two here, one there, one here, and one here. All right. Make your selection. Heads and tails, heads and tails, heads and tails, tails and tails. Okay, here we go. We got heads and heads. Y'all got to sit down. All right, I guess we got to do it again. Since you're all out at the same time, go those last five. Stand back up. Make your selection. Oh, boy. Tails and heads. Oh, Eric's out. The other four are still in. All right. Make your selection. Here we go. Got them? You got them? All right. We have tails and we have heads. Heads and tails. Did anybody? No? All right. Stand back up. Come on. What are we going to do? Tim? Heads and heads, heads and heads, tails. All right, we got a variety here. We got heads and heads. All right, it's Tim and Mark. We're down to two. Tim and Mark, here we go. All right, he's going to go double heads and tails. Heads and tails. Tim's the winner. All right, happy dollars. Anybody have any happy dollars? Anybody have any dollars left? Go ahead.
So I've got actually a couple of things that I'm happy about this week. One is we have a young man here that has been elevated to legal intern, licensed legal intern. And so there's $20 for that achievement. Thank you very much, Joe. And then I have another 20. My other son, who's a member of a rock band in Seattle, got selected by the Kraken to use one of their songs for a promotional video that the Kraken did. And so that he's pretty happy about that.
Congratulations. David.
I've got a happy $10 for a couple things. So yesterday, February 5th, marked the 100th anniversary of my dad's birth. He was born 100 years ago yesterday. So I'm wearing my newest Cougar acquisition, this fun sweater vest. But yesterday I wore a sweater that was his, 52 years old. So that was a real special day. There's that right there. And then a month ago, Michael had some surgery. He had prostate surgery, and we got some great positive PSA numbers yesterday. So we're very, very happy about that. So there you go.
Congratulations.
I have a couple of happy bucks here. A buck just for last week, the evening Rotary. All of you that showed up, it was a great time. We had a great turnout. I think we probably had 25 to 30 people. And I got some folks playing on the golf simulators and it was just a good time. So thanks for making that happen. And then I have a $20 happy buck. I kept trying to get him here. He's always busy, but I just wanted to announce formally that Adam Janicki is a partner in my firm. So January 1.
All right.
Happy $5. Just next week, next Thursday, we'll be winging our way to Portugal. So,
congratulations.
You know, we all hear a good Rotarian in the club always says yes, but you know, a lot of people still say no when you ask them to do things. I've learned as president, but I reached out to Dan Hockett and said, hey, we've got a work party that needs to be planned, and can you take the lead? And he just immediately jumped on board and is organizing the heck out of it. And it looks like we're going to be doing it in April, maybe April 5th. So kind of tentatively mark your calendars now. We're doing it for one of our own, and we really would like a nice big turnout. Many hands make quick work. I don't think anything too terribly difficult, some landscaping. So if a large group of us shows up, it'll make it a lot easier. But thank you for saying yes and being there and just being amazing. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Anybody else? Anybody online? Ellen, do you have anything to say for yourself? Your husband got fined. Okay. That's it.
All right, so Becky and I are going to kind of tag team today's meeting, and you might notice that you're sitting a little closer. We were taking bets, Lynn and I were, when we were setting up today, as to whether or not anyone would eventually sit at this table. It was really entertaining because people literally, it was empty, and they set another table up and went and got chairs instead of sitting at this table that was already set up, so it was kind of entertaining to us. But the first people who sat down were educators. And it kind of made me laugh because I'm like, of course they sit at the front of the room. Yeah, so thank you, Daryl and Mike and Ken, for sitting at the front table and not thinking it's too scary. So our auction this year is going to be held in a new venue. It's going to be at the St. Joseph Center. And for those of you who haven't been there, that's over in Mount Vernon at the Immaculate Conception School. So it's a great space. We're really excited to be back there again. For many of us, we spent quite a bit of time in that space, so we know it quite well, and it's a fun place, great parking. It's kind of in the center. If you forget something, it's really nice because there's a lot of stores you can just run and grab things from. It makes it really convenient. It's smaller, but there's not much we can do about that. So I just wanted to run through, and we will pass this around as well. But the auction, the doors will open at 5 p.m. and then we'll just start running from there. And I'm actually going to mobilize this mic, and we're going to kind of walk around a little bit. So one of the things we want to do today, and don't worry about following me with a camera, it's fine. Everyone online, just kind of tune in if you can. I'd appreciate it. So one thing we want to do a little bit differently, it's really hard to get people to come and show up to committee meetings at night. You see the same 5 or 6 people every single meeting trying to get everything done. And as I said in the email, we have 91 club members right now. It shouldn't take us long to do a great event if everyone pitches in and helps, right? So the first thing I wanted to do is to go over some standing committees. Some we have chairs for, some are open and we need someone to step up and help, and some are kind of a one-time only committee that you're gonna get kind of voluntold that you're doing it because you're awesome at whatever it is. So
Ruth, can I talk about these real quick so I can put them on the table?
Yes.
So this is a sheet that says, what will you do for the auction? And so if you want to put your name and a way for me to contact you, if you're like, we have the Arizona trip, but you need people to help you with that. So if you want to help with a live auction item, but you don't have an idea for one, just put, I want to help with a live auction item, stick me with someone. Or I want to help clean up, or whatever you feel like you will do so that I can plug you in the right place. So I'm gonna, one for each table I'll send around.
And Lynn's gonna grab some pens or pencils out of the closet really fast too. So first one is, we need a new chair for the plant basket raffle sales. Our chair of long-standing has resigned from the club, and I would really, really appreciate if someone could help out with that. Part of the responsibilities prior to the auction is to confirm the basket sponsors. In the past, I believe that's been Dan Sims. I don't know if he's interested in doing it again, so that's something that the chair could talk with Dan. And if not, then maybe we take up a collection of money from the club and we pay for it that way, so it's not all on just one person. Obviously, we need to purchase the raffle tickets, arrange for the purchase of the baskets, and the invoice would either go to a sponsor, or if it's a group of us, it would go to the club and we'd put money out of the foundation to that. So is there anyone here that's willing to do that? We raised quite a bit of money from this project. Anyone? Thank you, Carl. I appreciate it. Do you want to take that back to Carl? Yes. That is something the chair could investigate. That would be great, because I know we have our floral sales team, and they do a lot at the high school, so maybe that is something they could put together at a lower cost. That's a great idea, Carl. So I don't know if he heard that, so maybe touch base. Okay, perfect. And then we have the amazing, and this is going to be passed around to every table. We have the amazing Christina Trader. She has stepped up for the dessert dash. She has already emailed people to ask, but if you have not signed up because you hate surveys and you don't like electronics, here's an easy way to sign up. If you are willing to bring more than one, please sign up. Homemade is amazing. This theme this year, the theme, if you haven't heard the theme, it's Law and Disorder, in honor of our incoming president, Lynn Tucker. So law and disorder, what does that mean? Think cops and robbers, but don't just limit yourself to a police outfit. Think sheriff, old-fashioned
I'm wearing
sheriff.
an orange jumper.
Jumper. You can be a little disorderly. So I think from the folks I've mentioned it to, there's been some excitement about that theme.
And
We're
I
pretty
think there's
excited.
going to be a jail where you can pay to put people in and you can pay to get yourself out of.
That's a great segue. Becky, thank you. So that is one of those committees that I need help with. And it's a one-time only committee. But so here's the thing. We need someone that's going to do a little bit of two different things. We need someone to get a committee of folks who are carpenters together to build a jail that's lightweight, that can build things. I'm looking at you, Johnny Schmidt. But sturdy enough to stand
raised his
upright.
hand, I saw
I'm just
it.
going to read it out loud because I want everyone to know so we're all on the same page from the start. So here's what we're going to do. John Schmidt and team are going to build a sturdy little jail that'll hold up to 5 people standing. Your best of life, that's your get out of jail ticket free. So if you have a blinky light, you cannot be jailed. So if you go and buy a $100 best of life ticket, no one can send you to the slammer, okay? If you do not have one, and that is covers one person. So if you have a spouse who does not want to be arrested, they will also have to purchase one. It's a way that we think can help motivate people to buy their tickets, we're hoping, but it'll also help us because we have some people that don't like others. And if I see someone that I don't really like or that I just like to give a hard time across the room and they don't have a little blinky light, I might be willing to pay $50 to put them in jail. In fact, there's a few people I probably will donate to the club to put in the jail if they don't have a blinky light. So, twofold. John to build, we need a few guards. And I'll draw up some arrest warrants, and we'll have those printed, and we'll need someone with a clipboard. We'll talk to Danny. We'll get a clipboard with bid numbers, and they'll donate. We'll go arrest someone, and they'll get 10 minutes in the jail. However, if they want out of jail early, they don't want to miss that live auction or that silent auction item that it's just about to close and they really want, they can pay $50 to get out in 5 minutes. Or they could buy a best of live ticket and not even go to jail. So we've got some incentives. I think drinking in jail, I think that would be almost mandatory according to the
Would you
chief here.
pay $100 to get out?
I think you should always have a drink in your hand just in case. Maggie thinks that your drink should be confiscated if you're in jail. So as part of that, is Mark Finn here? I don't know that he's here. So he's the Best of Live chair, and I'll give this to him. But there's several folks who have been on the committee in the past. If you're interested in helping, we'll pass this around starting here. Sign your name. I think it actually might be a little more fun than usual this year because of the jail aspect. Because I feel like when people walk in, you can kind of say, hey, I noticed you don't have a flashing light. Good luck. And I think it might be a little bit easier to sell those. And then we have Nick, where is Nick? Oh, right here. Hey, can I retire yet? He always laughs. He is the bar chair. What do you need help with? I've got a little list there, but I mean, we can only have at St. Joe's Center, just so everyone knows, we can only have beer and wine. So no hard alcohol. So I know it's sad, but no hard alcohol at all. And that's on our banquet application that was just sent in. Chris Rothenbuehler. Yes, I believe so. I will confirm that with Gabby Becker, I will. Travis. And for those people online, the question was, can we still have hard alcohol in baskets on the property if they're being sold? So we'll confirm that with St. Joe's. In fact, hey, Lynn Tucker, can you write questions down so we can make sure that we don't lose track of them? I'm not sure about that because it was very clear in our contract. So, yeah, so maybe they skirted under the letter of the law. Maybe they were really disorderly. Nick? Okay, just don't get donations, because when I did the application, I said that we weren't getting anything donated to sell or to serve, so. I like it. Yeah, I mean, don't ask, don't tell. Okay, who else had their hand up? The judge said it was okay. Excellent, that's fantastic. Perfect. Okay. Travis, did you have something? Question? Say. We'll confirm.
Okay.
Because I don't have all the answers. I just read the contract. It was very clear in the contract. So we'll see if there's any, you know, do you remember the lady who used to like walk around and like enforce the rules? I think this gal might be a little more chill, but I'm not sure. So I just don't want, it's our first time back. I don't want to make her mad. Travis? No, not yet. Okay, so one thing I didn't really know as a longtime Rotarian is the hard work that goes into our sponsor packet and getting those sponsors, and why it's so important to have sponsors early. So that really does help cover the cost of the venue. So I did the calculations last year, and for the amount of people we had just to cover the cost, if we had charged them for the tickets, it would have been $166 per person just to cover the catering and the cost of venue. So obviously we don't want to charge that much. Last year we spent about $42,000 on the venue rental space, on the catering, decorations. It was a low cost affair. The year before we spent about $80,000. It's not a cheap event to put on. So we need sponsors. We need sponsors to cover about $50,000 of that cost so we can keep ticket sales low. So that being said, I have letters that I can send you a PDF of, or that Becky can, asking people to sponsor. We're going to pass this around just so you can read it. It's got the sponsor packet details. Please take a look. If you know someone that might be interested in being a sponsor, it's really great to have that personal connection. It's a lot easier for you to go up to someone that you're friends with and say, I'm a Sedro Woolley Rotarian and we're looking for a sponsor. These are some of the things that we do in our community. Would you be interested? And the sponsor packet, it outlines what the benefits are. Now, one of those has been the wine selection, but we were talking, and that kind of turns into a bit of a circus act because we have an open bar, and I think we're going to eliminate the wine selection from the sponsor tables and have that just for the VIP table. That'll make it a little bit easier on Nick, who will connect with the VIP table person who bought the VIP table last year. So they'll get the choice. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a few. Travis, I swear we're going to get to you. I swear. Okay. I'm trying to talk fast. Okay, so live auction. So this is where we raise the majority of our funds in the evening. These are the bigger purchase items. So I'm going to go through what we have in the books. I've checked with every single one of these folks to make sure that they're doing it. So these are the repeat items, but I want you to kind of keep in mind what's missing, what can we do different, what could I bring in. So the first one is the Floral Journey, the Ultimate Bouquet Extravaganza, donated by Tim Howland each year. And Tim said that he will do this again. Very, 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 yeah, thank you, Tim. So here's the thing. For what he pays for it, It's only worth it to do 2 if they bring in at least $700 each, which if you think about it, you're getting a bouquet a month for 12 months. That should be an easy sale. So if you're sitting at your table and people aren't buying, that's something that you can help as a Rotarian. We're not asking you all to bid on it, but you can encourage others sitting at your table. Oh, wow, that's going really cheap. Wow, I think I might bid on it. Help make Chris pay more money. So again, thank you, Tim, for donating that. Next, we have Choose Your Own San Juan Adventure. Nick and Kristen Van Jarsveld and Travis and Vicki Heisman are again donating this. So great big appreciation to you for that too. They will take care of everything, so they don't need any help with that packet.
Bought that last year and it was so much fun, and we might have to buy it again, so.
Yeah.
That was so much fun. And I know we were easy, right?
Okay, and this I'm going to hand off to Sandra. Sandra and Charlie Jensen donate their Airbnb down in, or is it an Airbnb? It is an Airbnb in Gilbert, Arizona. David has already jumped on this bandwagon, imagine that. But she needs more people to chip in and help. Since we don't have monthly teams this year, if you've already touched base with Sandra, she'll write down your name on that sheet. But we need money to help buy a certificate. So people, Visa gift card, right? To help people have some spending money down there. So pass that around and make sure that the Gilbert, Arizona one gets back to Sandra. But we'll collect any sheet that's passed out right now because we're gonna write this down on our Google sheet, and then we'll share out the link with everyone after this meeting too. The next one, number 4, Chopped Dinner Gala, a culinary extravaganza. There's a lot of extravaganzas in our auction. Dan and Sherry Hockett, Jake and Lauren Hockett, Josh and Amy Requa, Rick and Kristen Pastera. The question I had on this one is how many people can be hosted? Because we didn't have that last year in the auction description. So if you can fill that in. Okay, okay. So let's make sure we have, if you see anything missing in these auction descriptions as you're looking at them, let's get that filled in, because the earlier we can get these live auction items settled in, the less stress it is. Okay, number 6. Wait, was there another one on the bottom there? Number 5 was the Taste of Kentucky Premium Bourbon Tasting with Brock Stiles and Tim Lair, right? Right? You guys are all in on that. They need no help. They will get you drunk and have some fun. No? Just sipping? No drinking? No? That's disappointing. You know, if you had gone to U of I, you would get someone drunk, not just have some bourbon tasting. That's kind of disappointing, I'm just saying. Okay, number 6, Rotary Work Party. Dan will head this up, but it's everyone in this club. We are really hoping that we can sell them for the same price as we did last year. That was $3,100. So just keep that in mind. I want the auction to be really transparent. I think it's good to everyone to know how much we're bringing in. Seaside Serenity Sailboat Adventure with the one and only Phil Brockman. He's agreed to do that again. Last year that sold for $1,700, and he covers all of the costs included in that. So big thanks to Phil Brockman. Scholarships, last year we brought in $40,600. We also brought in quite a bit of money with the Logger Rodeo run. And I'd really like to check in on the books and see, because we only gave $40,000 in scholarships. We should have given $50,000. So I want to double check with Steve when he gets back in town for that one. The Coastal Adventure awaits. We are still checking with Katie Janicki, because John Janicki is not allowed to rent the house out without Katie's permission, according to an insider. Yes, and so, but that one, we're gonna pass that around. The folks who did it last year get first right of denial or approval. If you did it, please check your name. I've listed you. An evening with Dr. Robert Gates. We're still confirming that. I'm hoping it can happen. He's usually really good about agreeing to do that. We'll let you know. Carl, last year you worked with Woods Logging to get a donation. Do you think you could do that again, maybe? Okay, perfect.
That was a yes.
That was a yes. Ben Mann Custom Canvas. Last year, the club covered the $750 that he charges to do that, and it brought in $1,900. I was thinking, instead of us writing a check for that out of our own pocket, if people wanted to sign up to help offset that $750 by signing up to help donate to that live auction, that would be amazing. Let's see, Daryl Heisler.
I see a question in the crowd.
Yes.
Since I'm going to ask Woods Logging, please don't ask them to donate anything else. They do about $1,000 and they're really great about it. They're fantastic. And I've been buying at least $1,000 stuff there each year now for a couple of years. So yeah, it's working.
Can I just interrupt really quickly? A lot of our businesses get hit up all the time for everything. So if you need help with ideas, I'll totally help anybody. Because if you are asking them for something, then try to buy something there as well. Because go to the bigger places. Ours are always hit up.
One of the things I'm going to start doing this week is going online to the Mariners and Silvertips and all the companies that outside of Skagit they have forms online. So if you use Costco or Safeway or whatever, you can also go online and ask them for a donation. Just let me know which ones said yes.
Yeah, and that is another thing. If you can communicate what you have as early as you can, that really helps Danny, and it'll help Becky too. Daryl Heisler, you can organize your Fifth Avenue packet and get that list back to me. I'm sure there's some people in this room that do that every year. Not looking at anyone in particular. Okay, we have the Range Therapy Adventure with Mike Janahy, Lynn Tucker, and Dan McElraith. I'm just volunteering them that they're doing it again because who doesn't like to shoot some guns? Thank you very much for taking people out and letting them. I mean, they haven't really done it very often, but they collect a lot of money to do it. So let's see. Number 15, we're looking to donate $500 per school this year to do library literacy, so to make a donation to each school's library. And so we'd like to have a Raise the Paddle for that, and the goal is to raise $6,000.
So that offsets the dictionaries. We're just going to call it child literacy, and then we can spend it on whatever we decide.
And then the number 16 is the 4-course dinner and wine for 10 at LeConner Seafood and Prime Rib House. Last year that sold for $1,400, and that's donated by LeConner Seafood and Prime Rib, who is also catering our event this year. And thanks to Josh for working that out. Very, very awesome. And we're skipping one because the Cabo San Lucas is not available this year, so we're going to cross that out. So we'll need something to take the place of that. That sold for $3,200 last year. So that's a gap. Sheena?
I have the availability to get you something there, so just ask me about it later if you need a vacation, because we have ownership down there. Lots.
Becky will talk to you. She is all over it. Okay, and I'm going to put Sheena. Okay, so John's not here. You know, let's just ask Mike. Mike says, is Mike here? Oh. Okay, well, someone that works at Janahy, let John know that he's going to do the exclusive insider tour again. It's going to be great. That sold last year for $1,300. Not bad to walk people around. So, pretty cool. All right, ignite your culinary passion. The Green Mountain Pellet Grill. That's going to be donated by Hot Tubs Northwest. Jared said they're happy to do that again. Becky organized this last year. This is a really, really great one to sign up for. If you sign up on this list, there's a list of gift certificates that you can go and purchase or see if they'll donate. It's up to you how you approach it. help Becky out. That was a great, how much did that sell for last year? Does it say, Becky, on there?
I think it's 2,200? No. Yeah, $2,200.
So that's an easy one for if a lot of people take a gift certificate. It's an easy one to make a lot of money on. And this is a brand new one I'm really excited about. With Chris and Neil Rothenbuehler, they're donating a weekend getaway in Skagit Valley to a Victorian retreat. Do you need anything since we don't have teams this year? I noticed that you said Team May, but we don't have a team. Do you have folks to help out?
It's actually one of my employees that has the house. It's absolutely beautiful. It's got 8 bedrooms, and then it's got a separate apartment as well. It's got an outdoor kitchen, so it's an ideal place for a wedding venue, a family reunion. It's beautiful pond and outdoor. Yeah, it's really pretty. So, the owners of the place are happy to help out with any kind of event that somebody might want to do there with the wedding. So.
Okay, great.
Do you want any gift cards or anything to go with it? Or do you want, is it?
I think it just depends on who ends up buying it and what they would like to use that property for.
Okay. And then I'm going to pass this around. If you are sitting here and you're thinking to yourself, but I have an idea. I want to do something even more amazing than any of those that were read out loud. Here's your chance. There are some blanks.
I've asked Chad to put together some, maybe a golf experience where it's maybe some golfing at each location or out of town. We talked about it last year, but we just couldn't make it work. But that if anybody is interested in that idea, you could write Chad's name down and just force it on him.
That would be great. Let's make Chad do something like that. Yeah. That'd be fantastic. Okay, so we're almost to the silent auction items, so we've got the live auction items, and then at a table, we have the almost live items. So this is something in the past that we had teams organize and do something that wasn't quite up to the level of we think we'll make $1,000 or over on, but it's pretty amazing stuff, right? So we need people to form their own teams and to come up with the almost lives. And these are things that last year we had a giant television that Mike Moser got for free. And it was great. It was like it was a buy one, get one free, and he got a giant 72-inch television. He didn't want it, so he just brought it and donated it to the auction. That's not a garage sale item. That is not the item I'm talking about. So that is something, if you have a buy one, get one free opportunity, bring it and donate it to the auction. That would be the sort of thing we're looking for. So if you have an idea for something that we could do that would bring in, say, in the $500 to $1,000 range, form a team, get some help with your fellow Rotarians, and let's get those over to Becky and Danny. So Danny's in, I think, Vegas right now, but she is working to get the website updated as quickly as possible. We're sending out the best of live, or not the best of live, the save the date postcards tomorrow, I believe. So you'll be getting those. We're getting some extra printed, so we'll bring those in. Becky's going to send those out to people who didn't attend last year, but who maybe were big donors from previous years. And again, since we have limited space, invite people who you know will spend money. Please don't feel like Rotarians are the only ones spending money. We need to invite our friends and neighbors who like to support our causes. And we've done so many amazing things in our community. And this year, we have such a long list of donations we should all be really, really proud of. And I'm really excited to highlight those. We're going to do some fun things in highlighting those. And yeah, so it'll be a good time. Now, silent auction, Travis Heisman.
The moment you've all been waiting for. No, you can cheer if you want. Yeah. Perfect. Oh, very good. That's good. You're a thinker. I like that. All right. Silent items. So I sent out an email. Our silent items, guys, in the last couple of years have kind of inched down a little bit, not to, tell any of you that you're not doing a good job to bring in items, but I want to get some excitement back up in our silent items. So I sent out that email with a little instruction, but I'm going to go over that here today also. What is a good item? I was just at the Skagit Rotary auction, and they had most of their items in the silent were really more like $400 or $500 items. They were what we in the past probably would consider almost live. At their auction, they had they gave everybody the ability to bid on silent items before the auction using the Octria app. And Vicki and I were like, geez, by the time we got to the auction, almost every item was already at its full price before the auction. We actually didn't like that because it kind of took some of the excitement away from silent items at the auction itself. But the point being, their items were worth a lot of money. They've raised a lot of really good money. So what is a good item? First, new items. Okay, we're not, like I said, we're not looking for, that white elephant Christmas gift that you got 2 years ago and it's been sitting around. That's not our auction. Okay, so new items, high value items. We're looking for things that will bring in $250 to $700-ish. Okay, and then I'm going to put a little plug. This is totally selfish, but the last couple years, our items seem to have been going more the way of like baskets kind of stuff. A lot of baskets. That's great. The ladies love that. I want some guy stuff. Okay, so tools and outdoor stuff, and we used to have tables that were dedicated just to kind of that outdoors auto tools. So I'd love to see some of that stuff back. Okay, and each Rotarian, we ask Rotarians to bring in 3 items, whether that's silent and live, but a combination. That doesn't mean you're responsible for buying all those items and donating them, but you are responsible for procuring them. So that's either you go together with some other folks, you buy it yourself, or you go out in the community and friends and solicit those items. Okay? Everybody clear? Good? All right, and then the part that Rick Lemley loved to do. So this is the silent auction slip. You're all near and dear to this slip. So what are the rules? Somebody tell me the first rule of this slip. Fill it out completely. Very good. That's completely. There's a lot of lines on here. We really need this information. Danny and her team put this information into both the auction book and the computer, and they have to have the information. They spend a lot of time sometimes chasing Rotarians down looking for information, and they don't really have time to do that. So fill it out completely. What's the second rule? Don't write like Teak used to write his prescriptions. That's right. Fill it out legibly. Completely legibly. What's the third rule? Yes. So rip off the pink slip, give it to the donor or keep it yourself, whatever you want to do with that. But the white and the yellow go with the item. Okay, everybody clear? Rip the pink off, white, yellow go with the item.
I think there's even instructions on the slip.
For those who read instructions, there are instructions on the slip. Okay, what's the next rule? Okay, before that. Thank you, Sue. Yes, attach it to the item securely. Okay, because if it's not secure and it falls off, I will tell you sometimes it's very hard to figure out what goes with what, especially when there's multiple pieces of an item. Okay, and with that, I want to make a point. If your item has multiple pieces together or it's a kit, make sure it is all secure and together. I donated some jewelry last year, and I don't want to name any names, but maybe Nick Van Jarsveld, as he was transmitting it over to the Styles office, I think it fell out. So that's really on me. So make sure that you secure your items, and if there's multiple pieces, that it's really easy to understand they all go together. Okay, and then you're going to attach this very securely to the item. What colors? White and yellow. Very good. Thank you.
But Travis, Sherry's really good at working with Danny to take photos of the items before it goes to Kyle's place for storage. So those can be uploaded to the website. So it's really important that if you attach it really well, we can still get to the item to take a photo of it. So think of that too when you're attaching it, because Sherry actually takes photos of every single item to put on Octria for the website.
Great. Okay, and so once your item has this attached and it's ready, what do you do with it? Two options. Take it to Styles. That's one option. Thank you, Styles team, and Lair. And Tim. Yes, Tim too.
We love you, Tim. You're the best.
Okay, so one option is to take it to Styles and Lair. What's the other option? What's that? Well, if you're going to take it to the venue, you still have to turn your slip in to somebody on the committee or Styles and Lair. You can bring it here. If you bring it here, one of us that's on the silent committee, so myself, Tim, Danny, is there any others? Anyway, we'll make sure it gets to Styles and Lair's office, Styles' office.
And how do you get those slips, Travis?
Well, it just turns out that there's a bunch right here today on your tables, and if you need more, that box that's sitting right up there on the front table, there's lots of slips.
And
there's some at the Styles office. Yep, Styles and Lair office.
we're trying to make it very easy to turn in slips.
Okay. Everybody have clear instructions? Carl? Yes, repetition is the mother of retention. I'm going to be here from now until the auction unless I'm not here, and I'm going to be going over this every week.
Is there an alternative way if you don't have the time to go and get said items, to just donate money?
Possibly. I'm hesitating. Ruth's going to give me the stink eye, but somebody has brought up the idea that if you don't have time to get items and you would prefer to donate money and have the auction committee get items, that's an option. I'd like to hold that for now because I think that's a little bit of a cop-out. It's just my own opinion, but I understand it, and I would love for the auction committee to give me direction that, yes, that's the direction we want to go. Are you giving me that?
Well, I just wonder if you have things that you really want at the auction and you're complaining about it, why wouldn't you want to buy those auction items, Travis? Yeah, Travis. Get tools.
I mean, I'm just saying, if people are willing to give us money to buy things, I like to go shopping.
Okay, so I will take the input. Sounds like you guys want the option to donate money instead of items. So who then here is going to go shopping for all those items? Just you?
Becky and I.
Just you
and
guys?
Joellen.
All right, cool.
Ooh. And we'll get some boy things too.
So there is
DeWalt.
There is a list I'm going to pass around, and if you guys would like to put your name on it, we're going to take $150 instead of in lieu of your items.
And feel free to donate more than $150. That's on the low end. If you don't want to donate, if you want to donate more, please don't let us stop you.
Okay, any questions? All right, thank you.
Can I say something real quick? As a person who does fundraising for a living practically, remember you're not asking people for money. You're giving them an opportunity to support the community. You're giving them an opportunity to feed kids, help kids read, build parks, on and on and on. So asking them to help the community should be easy. What we do is inspiring and lean into that instead of I just can't ask people for money, just because they can also come to the event if they want to. So this is our opportunity to really shine and show how good we can do with this money to the community, and I think we've done a lot of really good work. I know that the Rusty Zippers are looking at all of our old stuff so we can update some things, and I'm hoping that we can kind of showcase some of that at the event.
And then I would just echo that too. Last year, I kind of was like, the year before, I went out and bought things, put together these baskets, and they actually sold for less than what I'd spent on them. And it was like, why did I even bother? So last year I had a new tactic, and I was like, who do I know in Sedro Woolley who would know what our Rotary Club does? And I just started talking to people and sending them Facebook messages, sending them texts, and hey, I know you have an Airbnb. Hey, would you be willing to donate a weekend? Not a single person said no. Not a single person that I asked said no. In fact, one of my friends that does the paint and sips, she was like, oh, I've got these paintings. Would you like those too? So it might surprise you if you have people in your networks that have things like Airbnbs, or they're artists, or whatever the case might be. They might be happy to say yes. They're just waiting for you to ask them. Chris?
I was just curious, when we put on what the value is of an item that we purchased. Say we bought something for the silent auction, about $300. Why does it say starting bid 75 or whatever? Where do you get that starting bid number?
That is a question for Danny. I'm not sure where that starts at, but that's something that we can definitely talk about. Because some of them are quite low. I mean, I've gotten some bargains in the past and I'm like, really? This is all I had to pay for this? And I mean, it's awesome, but I shouldn't have been able to walk away with some of the items I purchased for the price I have. So that's a good question. And another thing is, if you see one of the gift certificates, or if you see something that is 0 bids, there's nothing worse than getting 20, 30 minutes into a silent auction and having an item with nothing on it. You have to start the bidding, because if no one else wants it, why would I? And it's kind of a human nature thing, but if you see people hovering, you're like, oh, is that good? Don't be afraid to hover. Don't be afraid. You know people who are going to this auction. You know what they like. You know what their hobbies are. If you see something that you think they might be interested in, hey, did you see such and such over at that table? It's okay to kind of give them a nudge. And if you're in jail, you better pay your way out, Lynn. You better have that flashy light. And we're selling 150 of those this year. It's going to hold at least 5 people at a time. So, and maybe, Schmitty left. Maybe we can make it bigger, but there's limited space, so we don't want to lose a table for a jail.
Anybody have any questions? I know you got hit with a bunch of stuff, but I know my goal is to make sure Lynn has a very lucrative year as president and have as much fun as Ruth got to do to hand all that money out. So our goal is about 175 is kind of what we set for ourselves, and that's after we spend our money. But if you think of anything, don't be afraid. And also, somebody else isn't going to do it. So you guys need to step up. It's not like, well, somebody else will sign up. No, you're going to sign up. And let's do something. Everybody do something. I have the list from last year of all the things that people did, and there's a lot of people missing off that list. It's a lot of the same people. So please get involved. Eric?
Question for Travis. So the buying out of the silent auction items, who do we make the check out to? Just
I
Rotary?
think I don't want to have to go through a bank. I mean, if you trust me, give me cash. If you Venmo, I have it over there. So I don't even know my Venmo number, but I wrote it down. I looked it up. It's on my phone. So we'll keep track of that, and
So
we'll just
Can we Venmo's Rotary?
Yes. Absolutely.
Okay.
Steve's out of town for 3 months. Yeah, that's true. Sometimes it's just hard to get checks. Sometimes it's just hard to get checks. So cash would be easier. I'm just saying it.
So follow-up question to that.
So hold on.
Buying out, should there be a dollar amount? Because I mean, there should be some sort of standard, right? If you're not going to be, actually going out and procuring those items, shouldn't there be some sort of standard that those people are held to?
It's a minimum of 150.
Minimum 150 to buy out?
Yes.
Okay. And then
Preferably
another-
more, right? So-
Right, right. And then another question is, are we limiting the number of live auction items this year?
We would like to, because last year it was a huge hit to be out of there at an earlier hour. I couldn't believe how many people were so very, 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 very happy about that, including myself. And the number of people that actually stayed and helped clean up because we did get out early, it was amazing.
So I want to go back to as an accountant in the club, Ruth, I'm going to nix the cash idea. I know it's easier for you, but cash is bad mojo.
Okay.
So what I will do is, we can use Venmo, I can track it, and I can figure out how to get you.
Okay. If you can track it, that would be awesome. And
Yep,
just
we'll
let me
track
know,
it. Yep.
because that's fun.
So I'll send an email around with our Venmo.
That it's kind of like, yeah, this is really nice. You don't have to shop. So maybe think about that. Maybe it's 200 because you didn't have to shop and we're collecting money for the club. So
Yeah.
think about the price it costs to buy out.
All right. Anything else? We're late, so I want to let you guys out. Anything? All right.